Good morning, friends, and welcome to Nayi Soch Naye Raaste, presented by Eicher. For years now, the road transport industry has been seen as a playground for the men. But in the last few years, we have seen many women diving into unknown waters and swimming ashore with remarkable results. While some women have learned to swim after being thrown into the deep sea, some have taken good amount of training for the same. Some women got into the industry due to circumstances, while some always knew that this was their space. Our guest in today's episode of Eicher presents Nayi Soch Naye Raaste, a Trans India exclusive, is one such woman who was very clear about what she wanted to do. Not only that, she also trained herself before getting into the industry, and besides getting specialized education from United Kingdom, she also worked there for a couple of years to get hands-on experience. We are delighted to feature in this episode of Nayi Soch Naye Raaste, Tanvi Naik from Reema Transport Private Limited. Reema Transport was started 41 years ago by two friends, Ashok Kothari and Dilip Naik. It is a matter of great pride for the company as well as the industry that the daughters of these friends are now spearheading the company. Both of them are representing the industry at various forums and are an inspiration for many other women. Tanvi delivered a baby girl a few months back, and after taking a short break from work, she is back to the grind, juggling between work and home. So let's dive into the journey of Tanvi Naik on the other side of this very short break. You are watching Eicher Presents Nayi Soch Naye Raaste, a Trans India exclusive.
और क्या हुआ? आँख के मारे बैटरी लो है, विटामिन की कमी है, क्रूड ले टाइट कर दूँ। अबे जल क्यों नहीं रही? सर्विस करवानी है तो माई आइशर ऐप से बुक हो जाएगी, अभी आके ठीक कर देंगे। ले बुक हो गया। हेलो, वो कहाँ गई?
माई आइशर ऐप के साथ घर बैठे सर्विस बुक करो और करो लाइव ट्रैकिंग भी।
आइला
Welcome back to Eicher Presents Nayi Soch Naye Raaste, a Trans India exclusive. Our guest today is Tanvi Naik from Reema Transport. So, Tanvi, being the daughter of one of the founders of Reema Transport, was this your natural choice of work?
I would say that it was one of my top selections. It did fall in place since childhood, where you are conditioned and being around all these transporters, being around the logistics sector. Like I said, I was living right few kilometers away from office. My father being such a, I wouldn't say it as a bad thing, but he was a workaholic. He was always at work, working hard. Those were his prime days. And we were in school. We had free time. Papa would say, just come, drop by in the office. Your vacation is going on. Come in and do some LR entries, do some. And that time it was all that MS DOS, and it was not even an attractive looking PC, But yeah, I did come to the office more often. That did help me understand that there is, something going on here, and, I should probably understand it, but I wanted to first learn it at least. That's when I decided to do my master's also in logistics and supply chain. And once getting some exposure outside, I decided that yeah, now it is the good time where I have some exposure in logistics outside, and now we can come to our company, bring something good from outside, not just be here, join the business immediately and just like go with the flow, what is internal. Bring something from outside, some value addition with your education, with your work. And then it just fell in place. Everything just fell in place. It was a domino effect, like I said.
Where did you do your masters from?
I did my masters in the UK, in Manchester, and it was, way back like almost 15 years ago. There were not a lot of specialized masters in India at the time, where you want to do something in supply chain per se. There's no specific course for that. There were MBAs, but they were only, marketing, HR, finance. There were not a lot of choices here, and I was lucky and blessed where my parents supported me. They said, why don't you go and explore it somewhere where you can get the exposure that you want. That's where I decided to go to the UK, do my masters there.
And you also worked over there, right?
Yes, I did work there as well. After my masters, I was there for 3 years, where I worked with one of the top freight forwarders, and worked in ocean freight, in transport, and it was what an experience. It was really, I'm so happy that I got that exposure. Very different, very unique experience, of course, but yes, I did work there as well.
Tanvi, if you had to, list a few key takeaways from your work experience there, what would they be?
Girish, when I went to work abroad, and when I was going for my first time, when I was going for the interview, I was quite nervous, because imagine you have lived all your life in India, you know what going from Bombay to Pune and Bombay to Calcutta means, and then you move to a different country and you're going to work in logistics and supply chain where you don't know the geography of that country, right? So that was something which I was very nervous about. But again, I've been lucky, I've been blessed, where the team I worked with, the company I worked with, everyone was very supportive. I was the only Indian in my office, so they had a lot to learn from me as well, and same for me, of course. I was learning a lot. Working there was definitely a huge difference than India. The way freight works, the way customs, clearance, everything works abroad is so much different. Like, I can only speak about the UK, of course, because I have worked in the UK, but few challenges that we face in India, like, to go with, like RTO or check post, check naka, or certain things like where the cop stops you in the middle of the road and says, license dikhao. This doesn't happen abroad, right? These challenges are not there. They are non-existent for them, where the roads are so bad that a driver comes to you and says ki rasta bahut kharab hai, I will need some extra money because diesel zyada khapta hai, ya the tire phat gaya. These are non-existent problems abroad, imagine. So it is so different. The turnaround time is different, the kind of kilometers to go from Bombay to Pune, jitna apne ko time lagta hai. Abhi, thankfully we have an expressway, but still, to get till the expressway, we all know, Bombay people know how it is. Those kind of challenges, imagine, again, they are not there, right? So the turnaround time is shorter. The drivers there are more educated. So for you to work with them is a different experience altogether. They have their own set of ways of working. They have their own rules. They are paid enough where you will in turn respect them. But the same thing here, we all know how it works. So the life of a driver is so much valuable there as compared to our country, which is a sad truth. But we are also evolving, getting better by the day, but of course not at the speed where they are. These things are not the challenges they face. But yes, they also face different challenges. We used to face a lot of challenges, like where we would not get enough trucks, shortage of trucks, shortage of drivers was also over there, where we would not be able, and we had to pay high freight to hire somebody. And sometimes I used to be so surprised because being an Indian, I would सब कुछ convert करके INR में, I used to think, my God, is paying 1 lakh rupees to go for some distance which would be like Bombay, Goa. And I would think that I can fly to India, go to Goa, do a vacation, come back to the UK in that much money, So that used to be hilarious, but definitely a different experience altogether.
But apart from the logistic skills, did you also pick up the Brit accent?
See, now that was like about 10 years ago, and yes, you do have to pick up the accent because, like my father always says, when in Rome, be a Roman. It does apply. They would talk to me and they would say that you have a funny accent. I said, no, this is the correct English. And to be fair, we speak a lot more proper English than what they do. So I was in Manchester, which is the north of the UK, and North UK and South UK is very different. South is where London and everything comes in. They speak more proper grammar. But in the North, the grammar, the colloquial way of talking is a lot different. So they would, I had to learn the, quirks of the way you talk to them. So, you are right there, and things like they would say tea for dinner. So like, have you had your tea? They would mean dinner. And I would say dinner, I would say lunch, but they wouldn't say that. And they would say that, oh, Tanvi, you're so proper, you have to speak such good English. And I said, isn't that the right thing? You guys are English. I'm not even,
supposed to be knowing it better.
Absolutely. There was a point when my manager would ask me to, draft some letters if they had to write something very important. He would say, Tanvi, can you just, draft this? And it was so funny because all my colleagues are English, but I'm the only one who has studied till my master's.
Who has a proper
and
English.
who knows proper grammar. So it was quite hilarious too. But I felt good, right?
But tell me, how many years in Reema Transport now for you?
It's 9 years and counting.
And a long way to go, I'm sure.
Yes.
But tell me, once you came back from UK and when you joined Reema Transport here, how hard did reality strike that, okay, India is very different from what you had worked in the last 2 years?
Immediately, Girish, I moved back in 2015, and I am not one of those people who can just sit. I would rather at least go for a couple of hours to work and stay busy. So I immediately joined my dad. I spoke to my father, Mr. Dilip Naik, and Ashok uncle. Both of them were very welcoming, and they said, of course, apna company hai, you can immediately join. At first, I was just shadowing them. At first, I joined the company. I was literally just sitting around just observing what everyone was doing, be it what my father is doing, be it what Ashok uncle is doing. Yeah, they are sitting at the top, right? But I need to know what everyone else is doing, because I came from a background of where I was doing operations, I was doing groundwork in the UK in logistics, and I wanted to know how that is done here first. So I would sit with our booking office, I would sit with our maintenance team, everything. These kind of things are very important to have those experiences while growing up. It is very important to learn it. It is a part of your, the veins of your working. So you need to know how these things are done. Frankly, like I said, when I used to come here to during my vacations also, my father used to make sure that I knew how to change a tire. I knew how to, what was going on, kahan pe oil dalta hai, kahan pe pani dalta hai. Certain things, I know it may sound like I'm being a little pricey, but these things, to know them, it is so important. Everybody doesn't get involved in all these things. I know so many of my friends who don't know, and they all want me in the road trips because they know ki arey kuch hua to Tanvi at least knows these things. And it's definitely important to understand the groundwork first. So I was involved in that. I joined as a trainee. I told them that I don't want to join as a director. I want to join as a trainee first. I want to understand how things work. Just do those kind of things, and then eventually I will find my place where you need me to be there, where there is some place where some attention is needed, because what is the point of the management?
Correct.
To be in place where sometimes your team needs. So that is how I started. And of course it was a stark difference. When I started, customs used to take like few minutes to clear abroad, and here it used to take days and days, cargo ready hone ke liye days and days, paperwork. There's nothing called as paperwork there, no? Everything is digital.
Seamless, actually.
Yeah, and when I started, now of course everything is getting there, right, with the e-way bill and everything. But 10 years ago, 9 years ago when I joined, it was not there. So things were different, but challenging, but fun, everything.
So what did you start with? I mean, what task did you take first at hand? Okay, now once you had studied, you had got a hand of what's happening around you. Did you do a cleanup act, or you just went with the system?
No, see, it can't be, if I start, you can't start with a cleanup. You have to understand the system first. But one of the major areas of work that I got into was compliance and operations, because that's what I have done. I have worked in operations. I have worked in understanding vehicle placements and regular movement of work till the point of billing. And compliance was something which also interested me, because I wanted us to have something different than what other transporters are doing, right? Everybody is a transporter, everybody has trucks, everybody has drivers. What more can we do? How can we be better than the others? And especially because we were working with pharma, I came across a lot of customers who wanted certain compliances, and I said, why not? Why can't we get these things done? Let's do them. Just because you're a transporter, sometimes transporters used to hesitate. Will we be able to get this compliance, like a CTPAT compliance, GDP compliances, or which big pharma companies or MNCs get? Right. But we decided that no, let's do this. So these are the kind of compliances which we entered into. Now everybody does it, of course. But getting those certifications done, and not just getting the certification, but applying them to your work was where, my first areas of work.
I mean, how was the support system from Dilip Bhai and Ashok Bhai? I mean, both have been veterans in the trade,
Absolutely. They were welcoming, they were supportive. They are like father figures for me. Both, of course, like Ashok uncle has seen me grow up, they've both been very supportive. When I did mistakes, डांट भी पड़ी है, and when you do good, तो शाबाशी भी मिली है. So it's, it goes with it. I look up to them. And
who's more strict of the two?
Of course, my father. If anybody here knows my father, yes, he is the most stricter one, and Ashok uncle is somebody who is more supportive and more,
he's a sweeter kind.
Sweet,
gentle kind.
Softer
kind.
But you need both.
Actually.
You need both.
The carrot and the stick.
Yes, you do need both kind of mentors when you are joining or working. You need them, not just for work, even for life. You need mentors, and that's what they've been. They've been around for so long, and not just them, actually, even Reena and Reema have been that way, if anything needed. They've always been there.
We will continue our interaction with Tanvi after this very short break. You are watching Eicher presents Nayi Soch Naye Raaste, a Trans India exclusive.
कभी सोचा अगर किसी दिन सब कुछ रुक गया तो इन छोटी छोटी खुशियों पे लाइफ पे ब्रेक लग गया तो किसी ने तो जिम्मेदारी ली होगी कि सब स्मूथली चलता रहे. ऐसा जो ऐसे स्टीयरिंग थामे हैं कि हम ना रुके। जो वक्त से आगे की सोच रखता हो, नए रास्ते बनाता हो। शुक्र है जिंदगी की ड्राइविंग सीट पे कोई तो बैठा है, क्योंकि जब हम चलेंगे तो दुनिया चलेगी। आइशर के साथ रहिए 24/7 कनेक्टेड, ताकि ना आपका बिजनेस रुके, ना लाइफ। नई सोच नए रास्ते।
Welcome back to Eicher presents Nayi Soch Naye Raaste, a Trans India exclusive. We are in conversation with Tanvi Naik, who gave birth to an adorable angel some months back, Veera. So, is Veera going to be the third generation women transporter at Reema Transport? Let's see what Tanvi has to say. Now, Alvi, the reefer segment has really evolved in the last decade or so. I mean, as you also said that there were no compliances, then suddenly everything started coming up. How did you adapt to these changes, and what's the situation like now?
In the reefer industry, it has in the last, I think, since I've joined, I think I have joined at the right time. The last 9 years that I've been in the industry, it has evolved. Maybe
It's changing every day, actually.
Like the speed of change is like 2x, like than what it was 10 years before that. So, which is a good thing. I'm happy to see so much cold chain happening, where food that was not earlier moving in cold chain is now moving in cold chain. Medicines that were going in ambient are now going in 15-25 degrees. So these kind of changes are good changes that are happening. Compliance is increasing day by day. Competition is increasing day by day. But yes, I would say that our clients have been the ones who've been supportive. Our partners, service providers, OEMs, everyone has worked hand in hand to make this industry where it is right now. So definitely cold chain has developed drastically and it is increasing by the day. There is a lot of scope also, I would say, but yes, pharmaceutical companies, few companies, freight forwarders have helped us, supported us, and me being somebody who has worked in an MNC before in transportation, which also helped bring in some systematic changes, which also helped in making it smoother for the client facing.
Actually, what was the reaction of the customers when they had to deal with a lady transporter? Like reefer is very specific. Now, with the transport industry not having many women, and here you have a lady in a very specialized field. What was the customer's thought process like? Can she do it? Was that question mark there?
To some extent, yes. But I'd say, Girish, we are blessed to have a platform. Reema Transport has been around now 41 years and counting. And it was an established platform which I got to join. Thanks to my father, Mr. Dilip Naik, and his partner, Mr. Ashok Kothari. Both of them have worked so hard to create this platform, this name which Reema Transport has, the goodwill that our company has of ethically doing transportation business in cold chain. So that is something that helped. And with being a woman was not there was some resistance, but there was a lot of welcoming. There was a lot of people are anxious, people are waiting to see that how is she going to do it. She's coming and we do welcome her, but how is this going to happen? Is this really going to happen the way it used to be handled by her father and everyone, how it was going on? Will it be the same? Will it change for the good or for the bad? So Definitely there were question marks like that, but thankfully we had a good platform created which helped. And of course there is, people are evolving, now it's getting there. So I don't think there was so much of resistance also. It's pretty good.
It's better now.
Yes, it's definitely better now.
What changes would you like to see in the reefer segment now going forward to make operations or compliances simpler yet efficient?
What changes I'd like to see? I think more transparency between the driver, the transporter, and the customer facing. That would be good. Having a more some support from the transport fraternity would be excellent, to have some kind of guidelines and laws in place where the competition, the way the competition is going, it's getting dirtier, which now it's time that a body is formed who will set the way of working, like how food has, or pharma has, or all these industries have certain bodies who make sure that there is pricing control, there is
a uniform policy for everything.
A uniform policy, because there's a lot of exploitation that happens of the transporters right now, and we are not able to, we are trying, everybody is trying their part, but nothing is happening.
And it's sort of collective effort.
Absolutely.
I think everybody's doing it in silos.
Absolutely. So if everybody comes together, there is someone who guides us, brings us together, and then there are certain policies set. That is when things will get better. And we are actually, everyone's just trying their part, but definitely that is something that I think will help the industry to become more smoother. Certain things jisme itna energy and time gets wasted.
Absolutely.
That should not happen here. We are all here to make money, and there is enough business. There
Absolutely.
is enough business for everybody. So we should all just try to get together and work together.
Is detention of trucks an issue in the reefer segment also? And more so because with trucks now costing 50 lakh upwards, it needs to be on the move rather than standing idle.
Absolutely. Detention in trucks for reefer is very high. In fact, for ambient or dry cargo, trucks just need detention means just waiting, right? For reefer trucks, the AC is on, the driver is on call. Driver can't just leave the truck and go, because there is a equipment that is on to make sure that the cargo inside the truck is safe, is in the required temperature, everything is as required. And fuel consumption is high, so you can imagine it's double the cost which we as reefer transporters per se are experiencing. Clients to some extent understand, but they don't really think that that's their problem to handle, right? They have another 100 problems to face, so they are saying that this is your baby, you handle it. I'm paying you X money, so that's the kind of attitude, right, with transporters, that I'm giving you money, so you have to do what you need to do for that. I'm not going to sit here and listen to your complaints. But to some extent, what we keep voicing what we feel, what we think, and we are trying to make the client side understand that we are not just a truck wala. We are your partners. We are, somebody who's working with you, not just for you. We are making sure your cargo reaches safely. We are making sure that your cargo is in the best possible shape, and how you made it, it's still there the same way. So detention is a huge problem, and that also can be addressed too with, if we come together. Everything boils down to where all transporters get together and take a stand, where we are like the the most important, the wheels of the country. So we really, if we all get together, there's no stopping us.
Tanvi, one of the issues again that the industry has been facing for a long time is shortage of drivers. How's the scene at Reema Transport? Do you also have that shortage?
Yes, shortage of drivers is everywhere. We all know how a truck driver's son is not becoming a truck driver anymore. Even the young, we have right now, India has the maximum number of the middle-aged group right now, right, as per the stats. So imagine if we have the maximum number of people at the age of 25 to 40 or 45, that is the prime time, that is the kind of people that we want doing all these blue collar jobs. But really no dignity of labor is where we are falling short. People are not giving respect to the drivers, to the mechanics. We are trying our part. We are trying to give them all the required, the perks, the
I think Reema
respect.
Transport has been doing quite a bit in this space.
Yes, of course. Reema Transport is trying our bit towards them. What we believe in is they are not that we are the employees and they are the drivers. No, we are all the employees. We are all working together. We are all eligible to all the perks and facilities that the company provides. We have everybody on board on the payroll. We have everybody getting the PF, ESIC and gratuity, bonus. Everything is eligible for the truck driver as well. Additionally, we are doing, policies for them. We are doing policies for them even when they are not on the job. We are taking care of them in even personally. If there is any challenges that they come across, we are with them. And you can, just go out there and question any of our driver out there, and I'm happy and proud to say that our driver retention is down to zero, I guess. We don't have drivers leaving us unless they are very old and they are retiring. Drivers have been around for this company for so long. They have seen me grow up. So you can imagine the kind of respect that I have for them. And it is just amazing to see them, working with us. And it's a good atmosphere. I think that's the most important
That's what
thing.
matters most.
Yeah, how you treat them, how you work with them, and how you create a sense of belonging to the company. That is the most important thing.
Tanvi, in the last few years, the infrastructure, the road infrastructure has improved quite a bit. The quality of vehicles has also gone up. Has that helped your business on the whole?
Yes and no. Certain places where the infrastructure has developed. For example, I'll give you the latest one is the Samruddhi Mahamarg, which has come, and the travel time, the transit time is definitely shorter. More driving pleasure for the driver because it is more, straighter roads and lesser ghats, and of course it is all those things are good. But at the same given point of time, the way the roads are constructed, the same time roadside assistance is not at the same level. There are not enough pit stops on the Samruddhi Mahamarg as well, which is challenging, right? Because the driver can't stop when he wants to. And being a straight road, and of course roads are getting better, I wouldn't say no, but yes, we are getting, the problems are increasing 2x, and the infrastructure is increasing by 1x. So it's not catching up, but it is definitely getting better by the day. For us, the major route is Bombay Goa, which we are waiting since quite some time
now.
that the road will be completed. But that's the problem. The speed of work is not the same. But yes, it's getting better to some extent, and it does help us in transit times. The client is also happier, but at the same time tolls are higher. So cost cutting, which is the most important golden rule everywhere right now, that is where
the mismatch is there.
There is some mismatch, but yes, it's good and it's bad, like I said.
You recently took a sabbatical from work.
Yes,
due to a good reason. Yes,
I did. I would say I'm very happy and blessed with a baby girl, and I was on a break for almost 7-8 months, and I've joined back now. So,
But during that break, did you keep a track of what's happening in Reema Transport or the industry on the whole?
yes, I was definitely reading and being in touch with everything that was happening, what you guys are doing, so much happening in the industry, and it's so important to be in touch with what is happening, being up to speed with everything. But there were certain situations where client side communication had to be kept on, and I'm happy to help. We are lucky to have that kind of a thing where we can work from home, or we can keep in touch and we can do these kind of things. So it's good. I was in touch and also not in touch happily, and it was good. There was a lot of support from my team and the entire organization. Everybody was very supportive, helped out with so many things. Everyone took shoulder to so many things that I was doing. So that was good, and yeah, that was my happy sabbatical that I took.
And I think a copy of Transtropics every week kept you in loop with what's happening around.
Absolutely. And the Trans India videos. Enjoyed it.
Tell me, what are your plans from here on? I mean, now that you're back to work, where do you plan to take this company now? What's the future?
Future is right now, I'll say, with all the competition and everything, that is how the industry is evolving right now, we do look at getting to spread our wings more across the country, increasing our sales, of course, to some extent, understanding how sustainably we can work also side by side. And yes, the company there are so many opportunities. Yeah, right now I'm just focusing on catching up, frankly, with everything that has happened. 8 months is a long gap, okay, which I did not expect everything to change so much, but it has changed for the good, which is good. But I do look at us handling more diverse temperature controlled cargo, more routes per se. We have increased certain local movements, which is a good boost for us. And outstation also, like we have increased our movement to Gujarat more. Like you know, our government is supporting Gujarat very well, so we are working towards the Ahmedabad route extensively right now. And yes, that's where I look to support my entire team to grow, organically, how much ever we can.
Tell me, 9 years in Reema Transport, 9 years as a woman in the road transport industry, but still we have many other women who are hesitant to be a part of this trade. Any message for them?
Women,
I mean, you've seen it all, the ups and downs, you've seen the growth.
Frankly, Girish, I don't think there is hesitation. I'm surprised because I see so many universities out there that are doing courses for logistics and supply chain specifically now, which was not there, like I said, way back when I was studying. And there are so many women transporters right now. I know so many people now, right? We have a community right now which of so many women transporters, and I think all of us are making an effort to go out there to speak and to put ourselves out there, so that we have been other young generation can also see that yes, there are women here, there are women working and growing and happy to be where they are. It's not just a boring old transport company जहाँ पे driver को phone करो, इधर गाड़ी लगाओ. No, there is
new challenges every day.
Absolutely, yeah, and challenges is something that brings you to work, no? That gives you a reason to wake up every morning. So I think that's pretty good. I enjoy it. I love having challenges and working to. There is some new requirement, and then how I can do it. That is what keeps me up every day.
Finally, Reema Transport was started by Dilip Bhai and Ashok Bhai. Second generation, you, Reema, Reena are part of this business.
Right.
Did you just give birth to the third generation at Reema Transport?
Who knows? She's here, and I'm happy that she's another generation of a lady transporter if she wants to. I'm not going to do the thing where mera beta doctor banega ya mera beta transporter banega, but no pressure. But of course, if she wants to, she is welcome to join the business and take it forward. It would be absolute pleasure for not just me, but even for Ashok uncle and my father, that the third generation is also coming into transportation for Reema Transport. It would be amazing.
With a legacy to nurture, Tanvi has taken giant strides to make sure that Reema Transport grows beyond the current boundaries. We hope that Tanvi and Reema take Reema Transport to greater heights, and the friendship of Ashok Kothari and Dilip Naik continues down the generations. You have been watching Eicher presents Nayi Soch Naye Raaste, a Trans India exclusive. We will be back again next week with another interesting interaction. So until next week, stay safe and drive safe. Jai Hind.